So today we're doing the deep litter method. Hi, honey. And my sweet husband there just went and bought everything. So what we're going to do is layer sand, pine bark, peat moss, and small flake shavings. 4 layers. We're aiming for about a 4 to 6 inch layer. And our coop, the chicken portion of it, is 14 by 20, I believe. So we basically use a calculation of, like, I want to do 1 inch of sand. So the calculation I used, which is similar to what you use if you're calculating mulch, is length by width by depth. So that will give you the amount that you need, length by width by depth. Okay, so here we've laid out construction sand. Our goal is to do about a 1 inch layer. And so we basically just laid out all of the bags, and then we went through and cut them open, and it was kind of a team effort. We cut them open and laid them out, and once they were all dumped, as you'll see here in a minute, and then we used some garden tools and just scraped them into about a 1 inch layer. Another important item to mention here about the sand is we used construction sand. It's not a good idea to use play sand because it has a lot of silica in it. Construction sand is just pure sand, and that's the best thing to do. And another reason we chose to use sand in our layers, or as one of our layers, is always thinking ahead to what we're going to use this for. This is not just bedding for the chicken coop. This is going to end up being compost for our garden. So sand is great at keeping the dirt from in the garden from getting too clamped down. Keeps it nice and airy. So that's one of the reasons we chose to use sand as one of the layers in our deep litter method. And so the next layer we're doing here is pine shavings. Pine shavings just add some nice bulk to it. These are just regular, and we use the small flake pine shavings to just add some bulk in here. And again, as the months go on and the litter is flipped, which we're going to do about once a week, the pine shavings and everything will break down and all kind of meld together. And so we're doing about a 2 inch layer of pine shavings here. And then the third layer, we're bringing in peat moss. Peat moss, again, is a great organic material. Yet another thing that the chickens will use this litter for is they will dirt bathe in it. Chickens love to dirt bathe in peat moss. It's also very good for them, and it's also going to be good for the garden in 5-6 months. So it's late September right now. We will change this litter out probably in March, possibly April, and it will be used for the garden. So we're doing about a 2 inch layer of peat moss, and these are 3.5 cubic foot bales, or 3.8 cubic foot bales, so pretty big. And again, we're going to just spread it out into about a 2 inch layer. Okay, and here is our final layer. This is pine bark mulch, the small pellet. They have the option of small, medium, and large pellet, so this is small. This is going to be our top layer, and we're going to kind of go through after we put this on and mix it in with the peat moss. And again, always thinking ahead to what the purpose of this deep litter is for. It's going to serve the purpose to keep the chicken house clean and to provide insulation in the barn over the winter for the chickens and the turkeys. But at the end of its use, it's going to end up being compost. So all of these elements that we're putting in have a future purpose. And we're just going to go ahead and dump all of this out. And the pine bark, again, is going to be about a 2-inch layer. So with the 1 inch of sand and 2 inches of shavings, 2 inches of peat moss, and then another 2 inches of pine bark, we've got a good 5 to 6 inches in this. And you'll see that we put a board across the rear door, and we also have one across the front door. And this basically keeps the litter from falling out of the barn, keeps it contained. The chickens will come in here and scratch and take dirt baths. So this is the final product.